Hey, what's going on? Happy Wednesday! Time for the Daily Word, which happens today to be about words. Inspired by my pal Mo, who was talking about choosing words wisely when it comes to raising our children. I don't have any children. He has kids. But he made some very valid points about how strong words can be, especially when it comes to children and the words that they hear come out of your mouth. And so it got me to thinking. And this morning I meditated on thought patterns, but I think our words play a significant role in our thought patterns. So here's a couple of quotes related to choosing our words wisely, and then I'll go into a couple of my thoughts about that. So, the first one says, be careful with your words. Once they are said, they can only be forgiven, not forgotten. Next one says, words are free, but it's how you use them that could cost you. Whoa. And finally, words are powerful. They have the ability to create a moment and the strength to destroy it. Some interesting thoughts there when it comes to words. Listen, I am the first to admit that being the best with words is not me. I have a tendency to open this before using this. And that's dangerous, all right? Our words are powerful. What we say, the manner in which we say it, has the ability to forever change the person that we're saying it to. So when we are thinking something, or even when we're not thinking something, we need to take a step back and need to take a pause before we open our mouth and let the words spew out of our mouth. We need to evaluate how that could potentially affect the person. But the problem is we have to do all of that in like a moment's time. Because when you're having a conversation with somebody, you don't have 25 minutes to evaluate and think about what you're going to say is going to affect that person. So you sort of have to be quick on your toes. Because sometimes you're going to say something and it's going to affect somebody differently than you actually anticipated it affecting them. And I am a prime example of this. People say stuff to me all the time, and my brain, the way it works, it takes it to mean something completely different than what the person actually intended for me to hear. And vice versa. The way my brain works, the things I say are oftentimes completely misinterpreted and taken to mean something completely different than what I intended. It's not that I'm rude, it's that I'm honest. The problem is the way my honesty comes across as being rude. It's not that I hate everything and everybody, it's that I have no problem saying how I feel in that moment, but the problem is the way it comes out, it makes it sound like I hate everything and everybody. And vice versa, people say stuff to me all the time, and I take it and I run with it to mean something that they didn't intend for it to mean. Words are powerful. So you have to evaluate your audience before you use your words. And it's not easy. And it never will get easy. It never will be easy. You just have to figure it out. Like in the moment. You have to figure out how it's going to affect the person that you are talking to. You have to figure out how they're going to interpret it. What is it going to mean to them? And you have to do all of that within half a second, which is why we have communication barriers in relationships. So as you go about your day today, when you're talking to people, just take half a second before you say something to think about the possible ways that what you're about to say can be interpreted. You may not mean malice, but the manner in which you're speaking is going to come across to the person you're speaking to as malicious. And while that may not be your fault, it ultimately will be a scar on the relationship you have with that person. So, life ain't easy, and it just gets more and more difficult the more and more we think about every aspect of life. But it is completely possible to have positive communication with people and to choose our words wisely. It just requires a little bit more thought on our part. Make it a great Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. You've made it to the middle of the week. Give everything you got to everything you do. Pride, passion, perseverance. Make shit happen today. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll catch you on the flip side.